Hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday evening. We have our Monday footage to go over, and it was a banger of a training session. What it do?
Huge honor for me.
Thank you for the resub, Jordan. Sophie and I kicking things off. So with her, I keep a pretty low posture because I'm always fairly certain she's going to shoot on my legs and get to them. So if you find yourself up against a wrestler, it's never a bad idea. Keep a lower posture. Neutral spine. Just keep your legs protected. Not that that is a foolproof method. Nothing is foolproof in here. Everybody, all at once, starting. What do we got? Danny and James. Other Danny and Devin. Yeah, Emre and Dylan. She looks like a Portland native. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if she should be insulted. What did I do? Notice just a snap down from seated position here. Right, so she's kind of extending her own arm. I wouldn't suggest that, right? She's isolating her arm, giving me the underhook. Got wrist control on the other arm. And then just a quick pop-up. Base out. Go to like a technical lifts in a way. Pull her forward. And then I have some back exposure. She wins the underhook in that exchange, but I could settle into Kesa. Oh, she shoots like a Portland native. I read it as she looks like a Portland native. Yes, that I got what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Haragoshi over there. It looks like from Emre on Dylan. So Haragoshi or like a hip toss. Ogoshi maybe. So minor differences, doesn't matter. Looking here. Emre, good job getting the underhook. This is great. Catching Dylan a little upright. Good step in on that. Looks like you've got your hips far enough across. I always like to emphasize when I see you guys drilling this, get your center line to his far hip. So a cruder way of saying that, get your butt crack to his right hip in this case. And that's going to set you up really nicely for this. So it looks like that's what you're doing. You're really throwing the hips by. Nice little elevation. You could straighten the legs out there to like really pop them up off the ground. But nice takedown. You finish perpendicular to him. Very solid. Yes, exactly. And Mr. Mike back on the mat with Ethan over there. How did Danny get on top? Hook sweep. Trying to stay behind the arm here. Great move from Sophie with how I was breaking down the turtle. Not doing it the way I typically do it. Danny, I don't know if you're watching or if you'll see this. He asked me about this yesterday. But I'm stepping my far leg over when I see I have a little bit of space to get it in right there. But I don't have any control on her right side, and you'll see that she sits out and kind of turns back towards me as a result of that, and is able to at least briefly deny me the back entrance. Initiates a scramble, but I keep that arm by her. I could go back on the chase. What's up, dude? So yeah, I'm not advising you to break it down that way. You can. There's nothing wrong with it other than like that glaring weakness, I guess. Just something to keep in mind. Ooh, Dylan on the takedown now, getting the revenge here. Nice shot, single leg, walking you back. Little trip with that other foot. Nice. Cole keeping a close watch. What else we got going on? As always, if I miss something, please shout it out. Ask me. Tell me to go back. Tell me to pause. Tell me to fast forward if you're about to get embarrassed. And I won't. Danny on a nice straight arm here from side control. Interesting. So, Danny in the chat, notice what Danny has here. He's got that underhook from side control, right? That you and I were talking about yesterday. So let's see what he does with this. All right, so no big bridge, but he keeps the underhook and turns to isolate that arm. Like that shin going right up the back. Notice how he's getting his hips up off the ground. That's where he got the tap. So off of that underhook, he doesn't even, he just kind of gets that knee in. He gets the right knee in and then extends Devin's arm to get that. So something else you could add in, right? Play around with that from your escapes, your side control escapes. James getting you flattened out, but it looks like you recovered good. At least in mount. Being flattened out on your belly down like this, just awful. What's up, Baker? How you doing, buddy? Tired from your ridiculous workout of the day? It's way too much cardio in there. Emre just about getting around, but gets his neck caught instead. So what I like that you're doing, Emre, through that situation is you're staying mobile. Like, your head is caught. You're in trouble here. But you're not really giving Devin or Dylan a chance to, like, settle in quite as much. I mean, he could maybe try a few other things to, like, get you to slow down. But there are some escapes from here that you could utilize and turn that situation into your advantage, which remind me, and I'll happily show you at class. I didn't read the second one yet. I just saw your first before I started the stream. I'm like, oh god. Danny with the breakdown. Yeah, remind me, ask if you want to go over it. Ask about standing guillotine defense, and we could talk. Danny is quite good at just standing up. I'm finding. Jordan has one he was talking about last time I was on the stream. If we can't beat you up, you could always beat yourself up. Yeah, I don't remember which one Jordan was chatting about. I was kind of pissed that Sophie let go of this, but she was doing well here. So she gets me in Katagatame, and I'm looking to hit that rolling escape because she's at least somewhat close to my size. I'm really like, I'm gonna mess that up forever. I need to study that a bit more. But we hit the wall, and I'm like, lock it back up again. And then she does this. Great transition to the back off the Katagatame. That was really excellent. Goes for arm trap. And then she's very nice about not cranking my face, which I told her not to be. So go ahead and crank it. Get under my chin. You guys do all these workouts all the time, but you'll never get any stronger. Dude, I've reached peak physical strength for my size and frame. There is no getting stronger. Now it's all maintenance. I'm at peak health. Danny and I, for once, get a nice leisurely, friendly roll instead of trying to murder each other because he's all injured. Hence why he's starting down. Looks like Dylan sits. What's up, John? Danny doing a great job getting me off balance, keeping me away. Can't do anything. He sets up a counter heel hook attack. Joe doesn't drink tea. He just injects it. We got Alex over there with Mike. And Andrew on a triangle. Just about. Dylan rips out of it, though. Don't want to stack Danny on his neck, so I'm really not... I got there, and I'm like, if I put him on his neck, that'll probably get injured, too. And I think he's about 2 injuries deep now, so... Alright, Danny and Sophie getting around in. See, Alex looks to jump over Mike's guard there. What happens? So we got a pinning Mike's knees together, controlling the posture. I like that. I like how he kind of settles in. Mike just gets him moving, though. And has the underhook. So Alex is in a bit of trouble here. How did Mike get that underhook? Oh. It was because of that hand post. So with that left hand posted on the head as Alex shoots in here, he wants to look for the underhook a little bit sooner here. Like this is, I think I've talked to a few of you guys about this, John and Danny, I believe in particular, about prioritizing early on in your white belt jiu-jitsu stuff, prioritizing the fight for the underhook. And here's a good example why. Every indication leading up to this makes it look like Alex has a decent amount of control here. At least, he's got Mike's knees pointed in the same direction. That means it's a good idea to pass around the back. He's got, pressure on the head, so it's going to be difficult for Mike to move his legs in this configuration. So it's like, how does he end up getting his back taken, essentially? And it's because he didn't fight for that underhook battle. He sees the head, he feels the head, he's going to hold on to it thinking he's got something, but as soon as Mike slips his head out, he's on the back, right? So you can see Mike has a hook in already. He just has to get his head free, and that's not really difficult to do from here. See him kind of bumping Alex forward. Loses it, but he could settle into close guard. So all that just to get caught in a close guard, and that's not somewhere you want to be, right? So Alex isn't much better off. Who's got the cough? Yeah, that's Alex. Another new to me rash guard. Oh, Mike now onto the straight arm. Mike loves him a straight arm and a shoulder crunch. And that time, this is cool. So I talked about this a few weeks ago when I went over this move at class. But I said Peters loves to take it in the direction you're not going to expect him to take it in. Alex doesn't have a base over here. So you think Mike's going to roll him this way. But watch, he gets his hips out to the side because he can't get to the initial easy way to do it. And now with all the same mechanics, he can get Alex going in the opposite direction. Alex doesn't help himself by clasping his hands together here. Kind of just gives up his own base. Trying to work a body lock pass on Danny, and he absolutely will not let me do that. So I jettison that technique. Go back to standing passing. What happened with Danny and Sophie over there? Oh, Danny gets himself a little guillotine. She moves ridiculously well. Just gets her head caught there. And her arm caught too. That kind of sucks. That was a nice guillotine, Danny. James playing some inside leg position. What did Michael do? Same kind of thing. Mike easily slips in the underhook. And he's right back to that same position he was at. This time he comes up almost out the back. Gets a sweep. And I don't know if Alex watches this or not, but I'll definitely shame him next time I see him into watching the stream, liking and subscribing, and not giving up the underhook. What's the general rule about like who white belts are allowed to roll with? I remember at the beginning saying go with higher belts. Yeah, until you have 2 stripes, we try to keep you from rolling with other white belts with 0 or 1 stripes, right? Like brand new guys who just flail and, you know, don't mean to, but they throw their arms around and their elbows and their feet, and they can hurt each other quite a bit. We try to keep you guys apart. That's why, like, if you're gonna roll that way, and everybody kind of does when they first start because they don't know what to do, I would rather you hit me in the face than a brand new student, you know, who also doesn't really know what they're doing. But you got 1 stripe on your belt. You're getting there. And we try to keep it enjoyable. So, you know, when you have a 1 stripe white belt going with higher belts all the time, you could tap us. We'll let you tap us. Yeah, fair. Danny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many stripes Danny has. We have a record of it somewhere. Also, keep in mind, guys, you know, a lot of that early stripe stuff, it comes from you showing up and logging your attendance. So, you know, we want to see that you're a class. It helps us keep track of where you are, make sure you're getting the recognition you deserve. But time, attendance, and ability are what we look at for that sort of thing. And women with child, yeah. The pregnant training partners, they get all the smoke. What's up, James? Sorry, looking back, I got Andrew in this headlock. Use it to pass. So I don't think I'm really trying to finish this. I don't remember. I was trying to use it to pass though. But Andrew grabs the leg with his. Mike chasing down a knee tap double there. And Sophie just about getting to Danny's back. Danny coming out of it. What's up with James and Ethan? Ethan looking for turtle breakdown here. Emre getting caught in the standing guillotine. Let's see why this happens. You just kind of end up like you didn't even take a bad shot there. I'm happy with the attempt you made. Like you shoot on the leg, you keep your head inside, not on the outside position. Caleb was just able to square up to you is really all that happened here. And you know, keep in mind going against somebody that much bigger than you, they might get to move a little bit more than you want them to. You know, that strength and weight comes into play there. So that shot was good. I wouldn't be discouraged about that. You could also kind of look to get behind him a little bit faster, like off this single leg. You could look to move behind him. You could look to change it into a double and reach for the far leg, pull that leg in. You could clear the captured leg to your, in this case, your left side, step in on an inside trip. Like, you just don't want to spend a lot of time with your hips hinged and looking at the mat. It's kind of the other thing. I think if like Bertram saw you doing this, he'd correct your head position, where you're looking. If you're looking at the mat, you're going to encourage your opponent to break your posture down and keep it broken down. So, you know, there's a lot to be said for keeping a neutral spine, kind of looking upward and through your opponent. That could be something to work on if you want to play with your stand-up. I don't do bulls that way. Yeah, okay, fair. If you want to watch like the king of doubles in modern times, Jordan Burroughs, the wrestler, that was like his signature move. So if you're geeking out over YouTube footage, he's a good one to check out. Practice your mother and girlfriend and any pregnant women. Danny's not a terrible spot right here. He's got the shin pin, but Mike's got the leg caught. It's going to be hard to progress out of that. And again, another example, Danny, right? Mike has won the underhook battle, so this is going to be hard to come back from. Like you need to kind of like disengage, try to pummel your arm back in, get your underhook back. Otherwise, you keep pressing forward, Peters is going to take this every single time. And Sophie, what'd you do? Omoplata. Danny rolls through. And it's hard to finish any sort of attack on the arm once your opponent rolls through the omoplata. So good on her to kind of abandon the submission attempt and move on to positional advancement. She immediately secures her side control and then quickly makes her way towards mount. Looking for Katagatame now. It's good vision. What did James do here? Okay, you guys are talking Neon Belly. Neon Belly sucks. So, if I remember correctly, I really take my time with this position on Andrew. Yeah, you'll do it less and less, man. It just starts with awareness, that's all. Mike doing a great job keeping you off balance here. Kind of inverting under your legs, making it difficult for you to settle in. Oh, that's right. Okay, well, let's play out with Andrew. Go back and look at it. Caleb on the back now with the arm trap, the muffler. Working really high here over the arm towards a rear triangle, but I think it looks like an Americana. Kind of Americana-ish. It looks like Emery's just tapping a little early there because he got caught, which is fine. Do that all the time. Caleb's. He's not evil. He means well. He pets the rabbit a little too hard, you know? And he kills it. He hasn't been in the chat in a minute. I have to put him on my list of people to shame. Okay, so longest armbar ever on Andrew. Setting up from side control. Working to a shin pin, probably thinking triangle entrance there, but he gets me off balance. As he rolls up, like he's done a good job like taking away my initial threat. But as he turtles up, his arm is left behind from grabbing my head, so I can get my hooks around that. And I start to go on the attack. I'm looking for an armbar now at this point. I briefly transition to a triangle. As you can see, I get the leg behind the head, trying to pull my leg into place, but I just could not get to a good enough angle. Once he stacks into me and starts to extract his arm, that's where I make the switch. So let's see if I'm disappointed in my own technique here or not. When we did arm bars, I don't know, it was maybe a month or two ago. One of the big corrections you typically see is extended legs here, right? You get the leg, you think like, I got the 2 legs around the arm, I'm good to go. What you really have to do though is dig your heels in, pull your heels to your butt. You see my knees are bent at like 90 degrees or close to it. That's going to keep Andrew's posture broken down. You see how his head is kind of crooked off to the side. It'll control his posture. It'll make it difficult for him to posture up and escape ripping that arm out. So my legs are well engaged. Yes, my ankles are crossed. I don't care. This is a 3/4 arm bar, 3/4 juji. And that's the name you give to something, to an arm bar with your legs in this position. So if you guys aren't familiar, so yeah, a few different things there leading up to an arm bar. I think I had a pretty sweet takedown on Andrew here at some point, and I'm absolutely going to look at that over and over. Mike, though, what did he just do? All right, so Mike gets this left butterfly hook in. Yeah, so Danny, as you go to step over here, like Mike can just track you everywhere with that foot, right? Wherever your hips go, he's gonna have a beat on it. So here he goes for this, basically like a wing sweep, but with that leg left in, he easily transitions into a cross Ashigarami. Really, really nice entrance. I love that. Caleb doing more evil things over there. Right onto the back again. Pulling Andrew on top of me. I think I was going for an over under, or no, I was going double under. That's stupid. So stupid. But I transitioned to a leg and get a good knee bar out of it. So Danny, another thing to keep in mind, and you're, just because I'm seeing it a lot in this round, I don't know if this happens to you a lot, but you give a lot of forward pressure. It seems like an objective of yours in a lot of your roles is to like just press forward and flatten your opponent out, and that has its place, but it's going to be really difficult to do that effectively if you're just loading yourself up on legs, right? When you get your hips over your opponent's hips, if they have a connection like this to your hips through a hook, butterfly hook, whatever, that gives them the opportunity to put you where they want you. So you're just loading yourself up, giving them an opportunity to move you around. And I'm sure that makes sense watching it now. But backing off the gas a little bit, addressing some of those connections that your partner's making against you could go a long way in making your passing game a bit more productive, I guess. Before we go to the next round, just want to do a quick rewind. I really want to see the takedown. Maybe it wasn't this round. It might have been the second round. Okay, he sits. Got you. Big Devin. I'll tell you what, when Devin moves forward, when he makes a connection and moves towards me, I feel pretty genuinely threatened about it. Little Sasai takedown there. Let's see if I could get the turn going, get the foot block going. Bread and butter. Andrew looking to get behind Sophie now, but does a good job scrambling. Can she stay safe? Gets to her back, but is looking to maybe enter the legs or at least get her guard back. Emery looking to thrash Michael, as he should. Devin with the simple mistake. I mean, he's kind of trying to bridge and push me over, get me off balance, but in doing so, he lets his elbow slip past my center line, and that just exposes his back. James, you look uncomfortable. Or very comfortable. I don't know which. Got that big old teddy bear on you. Caleb is using kind of a Nelson, I don't know if it's like a quarter Nelson or what. Taking that page out of Bertram's book. Onto a quick attack on the neck. James is surviving though, damn. Oh yeah. I did not see that. Devin got to be careful with this. Again, this belly down position. I didn't want to, because I hate when it happens to me. So what you do here, if you do catch your opponent here in a competition and not in the training room, please, is just get a grip across their face and pick their head up off the mat and just keep going with it. It's a spine lock. It sucks. You know, it's not going to strangle them. I don't want to do that. So I'm just trying to dig on the neck. Get the jaw. I don't know if I even get this. I think he gets out of this. No, I guess not. Maybe? Or do we move? How do I get the tap? Michael again on the straight arm here. He doesn't have his hips out, so he's not really finishing it. Like, he's just kind of staying in front. You could probably get some pretty decent breaking pressure on this, especially if, I think if you went elbow to elbow grip, like this, he could probably get some real finishing power into that. A lot of people keep getting it on me where I have an underhook on one side in half guard, and they're able to just wrap my legs like Mike did right before. Do I know why? Let's see. A lot of people keep... Are you talking about getting this move on you? Getting this like straight arm extension? I have an underhook on one side in half guard. Okay. So you get like your far side underhook. Oh, okay. Well, wait, hold on. Let me just go back all the way. How far back are we talking? Was it just what I was looking at a second ago, right before that straight arm? Let's see. I mean, are you talking right here? Because you have, what you said again, have an underhook on one side and half guard, and they're able to just wrap my legs like Mike did. Before this, but similar position. Okay, let's find it. Okay. Right here, I guess. So he wraps your legs. See how this plays out. Okay. So you're talking that little sequence that happened? So you get your underhook. Mike is pummeling in for his, and that's where Mike starts moving. So Mike wins the underhook here. You had the underhook, and he got you off balance enough. See how your right hand is planted on the ground. He was able to create enough space to pummel that in, and then now from here it's pretty easy. So everything, this seems to be like the theme of the unofficial theme of like the last week or at least this week is this underhook battle that's taking place. Mike's not gonna come up and be able to take your back if he doesn't have the underhook. Before I go on a tangent, let me just reread your message again. So they're able to just wrap my legs like Mike did. The leg wrapping stuff, I mean, really, that's just like a consequence of half guard. Mike doesn't have to have his legs in this position. He has taken out, he either took out or you got by his knee shield, but he's using that to either, maybe he's thinking a knee lever. It's hard to say what Mike's thinking here, but this is just something you get caught in. Like it's not even that bad. It's purely a connection to you. It's how he uses it that really matters. If you find yourself in this position too much, I would suggest first not losing that underhook battle, right? So instead of driving forward and trying to flatten him out, if you feel like you're losing ground here, take a pause, open up that chest to chest space, and like try to regroup. Deny him the underhook. Don't give it up very easily, and you could start hand fighting and looking to win your underhook back. You only really want to be chest to chest in top half guard, flattening out your opponent if you have an underhook. I can't think of any other reason you would be here without an underhook. So I'm just going to say the simple answer to your question is fight for that underhook. I know I sound like a broken record tonight, but that seems to be the common thread through a lot of these moves that you guys are losing. With that, Mike starts to come up to his knees and goes on to a knee tap double. I believe that's what he hits here. So double leg because he has both of your legs under control. Knee tap because they're right here. Getting that hand to the far knee just collapses you down. Yeah, there's nothing super special about that. Just start fighting for your underhook. We had that drilled into our heads from Luke, early on, because Tom DeBlas is like, his entire game was built around half guard. So Luke's entire game in his early years was built around half guard, and that was always imparted on us. So it's a good place to start from. Nice guard pass from Sophie. Squeaking the leg by. Andrew with the sweep. And James with the nice standing guard break. Good scramble. Way to follow up on that, man. Chase his ass down. Mike, I think, using an arm drag here to set this up. Looks like it again with the wing sweep. Tripod sweep for me. Nothing fancy. James, are you gonna finish this? Are you gonna? She got a little bit of armbar threat into the head scissors, so Kimura threat as well. Switching to the armbar. Damn, dude. That was intense. Like you punch his grip. Great reaction from Caleb, man. If I had James on the end of my arm like this, I would tap before my hands came apart. Yeah, it looks like he just disrupts your leg connection. Like he doesn't even let you establish that cross-facing leg. And then is able to turn up quickly. That was really solid defense from him. Nice. This is good. Mike has good tips on this move. He's never moved. He's probably still feeling it too. I mean, even I know it's at 1 1/4 speed, but even at regular speed, I'm sure that was quite quick. I mean, I get it, man. Like I said, I'd be freaking out if I was at the end stages of an armbar with you attacking it. Yeah, and oh, was that the first Hargoshi I hit? I think so. We'll just keep with the theme, right? Danny, as you reach over and like try to get to my back, I'm just sneaking in my underhook. I would say first here, man, what I want you to do instead, when you get these front headlocks, great position, get my hands on the mat. Make me put my hands to the floor. The way you do that, send my face into the mat. Just like snap me down to where if I don't put my hands down, I'm going to break my face on the mat. That's how I want you to treat this. So you get to that position, snap me down. When my hands are on the floor, then you could, arm block, arm drag, whatever to get around my back. But if you're just here and you reach over, my arm has, no other job to do. I'm not trying to protect my face, so I can just stop you, get the underhook, and then now start going on to the offense. Little Hargoshi trip, and then onto my own headlock, and I can put you over. So Danny, if you find yourself using that front headlock a lot, start thinking about getting your opponent's hands to the ground every single time. That will open up that move for you completely. James doing a little bit of camping. We went over that in class yesterday. And looking good on it, right? Anybody who was at class, Emre, I know you were there. Look at what James is doing. He's got hand on the hip, head in the shoulder, and then there's a little, I think, hand to the knee, possibly. James is just chilling, making Mike kind of crunch through this, walking towards the legs, blades his body in, gets that knee against the hip, and is trying to secure the position. Mike's got his knee on the ground, which is going to make it difficult for James to walk Mike's knees back in that direction and secure the position. But James, that looked really good, man. And that's kind of the fun thing about the whole camping approach is even if it doesn't work, James is still putting that forward pressure with the intent of making Mike, tired, slow down, like break down that core strength a little bit. We just relocate. That's it for intramural. Oh, all right. Good luck at your playoffs, man. Go kick some ass. Figuratively. Or whatever. I don't care. Don't get a red card. I know. Text him, man. Tell him you miss him. Do you have his phone number? Should I give out his phone number on stream? Who wants Mike's phone number? and his address. What's up, Stacks? How you doing, buddy? I'm absolutely loving arm drags right now. Since I started practicing them again, seeing them in different ways, they work so well. This is a really great example of where I have lost head position, and I kind of don't care. I'm kind of using it as bait almost. I've got control of the arm. See there, I get my second grip in. And then now I just get behind the arm. I'm not like chasing the back down. I haven't spun Danny around to get him exposing his back to me. I just, in a controlled, kind of methodical way, turn the corner. See that head pressure moving through. And then now I got my tight waist grip. I still have a grip on that arm. I could kind of settle in until I do what I want to do, right? Judge how I got to take him down. This time I opt for this kind of near side knee block. I have that right arm under control still. So Danny bases out with that left arm, and I could settle in. I absolutely love the arm drag from that close, almost clinch kind of position. How you doing, Stacks? You training? Getting ready to train? Just come back from training? I hope you're enjoying some warmer weather up there. As it should be. It's been gorgeous here. Though it did seem like a tornado was blowing on a sunny day yesterday. Damn, Danny moving pretty quick over there, trying to avoid Andrew's guard pass. Turtle's up and away. If you're ever wondering why you would even use Turtle, this is a good example. If points were being counted here, Andrew kind of quickly gets by Danny's legs with, like, I don't know, some leg drag kind of action there, a little shove by. If Danny turtles up and Andrew lands here, Andrew doesn't get guard pass points. Danny keeps rolling through, though. More to maintain guard than deny points. But that's why you'll see guys, even at top level, utilizing turtle position. What happened to you, James? You started losing position and then told Mike to pause. Is that it? You felt yourself about to get sweeped and you're like, wait. Okay, go. You know what I've been doing a lot lately, and I'm actually really enjoying it, is single digit manipulation. I get why it's illegal. It's because it's so effective. Nice sweep from Mike right there at the end. Little Jordan sweep action in a way. Although Mike's been doing that to me for years. But yeah, oh man. Like, someone has a guillotine on you, you just grab a single finger and start bending it. They give it up. What else? Toes. You grab single toes. I did that to Ronnie. She uncrossed her ankles, got out of her closed guard. So it's so effective. Exactly, man. It's honestly like I've only done it to my higher level training partners for obvious reasons, but it, more than anything, I think it makes them laugh, and then they lose position because they're laughing. I have legitimately fish hooked Josh, though. Do you remember that, Josh? It was a proper fish hook for like 10 seconds. Let's look at this ankle pick to a single leg takedown. So on Ethan here. Very much. Yeah, it's my my scorpion move. On this version of the ankle pick, I go same side arm to leg, so my left arm to his right leg. And when I say same side, I mean like just reaching straight forward, not left, right, left, anything like that. So same side grip on the ankle, my opposite hand to the hip. I push through him as I go to stand up. And then now I've kind of stayed on the inside of the leg. And instead of looking for my inside trip, I'm really just pulling this, I'm turning, pulling this backwards and pushing this forwards. And I thought he bounced his head off the mat there when I did it, but he said he didn't. Ooh, Caleb getting some hang time on something over here. What's going on? Oh, with Devin. Okay. I'm going to look over to the right side of your screen here. Haragoshis were going around that night, man. So Caleb with the overhook. This is really nice, man. You could really see Caleb using his overhook to pressure Devin's body forward. And we'll talk about this on some other examples that are going to be on tonight. This is a really great one, though. Like, Caleb's barely using his leg to, like, chop. He's not really trying to chop Devin's legs out from under him. He's just blocking as he sends Devin forward. And that's Ippon in judo for sure. That was gorgeous. Lunch is served. That should be, oh my God, that should be Caleb's, like his, what's the word? His catchphrase. Any good move he does, you said, lunch is served. Andrew looking to step through, but Mike following very closely, just keeping a guard in. Sophie working some turtle here on James, so little power half Nelson set up top. Gets both hooks in, that's good. James sneaking off to the side though. Yeah, Sophie kind of losing that cross body control. Not really much control over this hip. She wants the twister. You could tell she trained at 10th Planet. What's up, Ben? How you doing, buddy? Did that surprise you, James, when she started going for that? We're just like, oh, I wouldn't have even expected that. Caleb, let's go on to finish. Sends Devin. Gets to mount, gets to back. Yeah, it looks like they roll through and he gets onto a something. I guess a rear naked strangle. Yeah, it's she's such a sandbagger. I believe she wrestled for 2 years, and before she wrestled, she trained at 10th Planet for like a couple months, like 2 months, 3 months, something like that. Her brother also trains at Lachlan Giles School in Australia, so I'm sure that she's picked up some stuff from him. Arm triangle against Ethan. So Ethan kind of doing the same thing. He gets me in a front headlock. I want to see him getting my hands to the ground before he makes any advancement. He's got to break that grip. That's what Luke said. Luke striped her up 2 stripes on Monday night. And he's like, I'm giving her 2 stripes because she's a sandbagger. But no, she's just good. And I guess her school didn't do stripes when she was there, so. James getting tricky. Sets up with the tripod sweep. And the step around. Armbar, legs over the body. Looks like she's laughing through that one. Yeah, I like that better, like the back take on that, just because the leg position I think lends itself to the back take. You just gotta she has to lower her hips on that one, but very nice, very nice. Me and Emre. Dude, for real. Those arms. What did I do there? Oh, yeah, this is a cool takedown. So I have my underhook at a tight waist position. Emre's got me real bent over, but his feet, it's hard to tell from this point of view, but his feet are pretty far back from his head, so I know if I can pull him in this kind of 45-degree direction, I can get a really big motion out of him. So I sit through, I go for a trip just like a Sasai foot sweep, and I can get him down and past the guard. That would not have been what I would have attempted if he was a bit more upright, but because he was so bent over and committed on that overhook, I felt like it was doable. Everybody just sitting and jawing. Emre training harder than all y'all, but getting pendulum swept in the meantime. James, there we go. Armbar from the back. All right, James looking for a little shoulder crunch action. He's got the pinch headlock set up. I think the head is still in place there. Yep. Emre chasing me down to the back. Whips me down. James on a triangle. To the armbar. That was nice. Let's see that one more time. So from close guard. Damn, okay. Devin he messed up here on himself, right? James, as you pull that right leg up, it looks like right there, Devin probably swims his arm out and just puts himself directly in the triangle. Maybe his intention was to do like that heavy pass, run around to the outside. But yeah, he just lost the opportunity. Didn't get you moving enough. I think he was a little too sprawled out. Andrew similarly working the pinch headlock. All right, Devin in a good spot. I think if he has the underhook, he's in a good spot. He does not, though. And James making great use of the lockdown there to get him off balance. Moving up to a deep half. Into an attack on the legs. Going for the electric chair from mount. and then using it to settle into top half guard. That was really great. Great use of the lockdown, James. Good example of what to do when you have it, instead of just holding on to it and breathing heavy and not moving at all. Onto the back, quick tap. Good chair sit back take. Again, Emre chasing me down, getting to the back, but now I make it a little bit harder for him to get me down. Or I fight a little bit longer to stay up. Is that okay? After that, it looks like Devin takes a beat. Danny and Caleb talking through something. I think I yell at Emre enough to get him to work the standing guard break. So got a little bit more to do to brush up on that, but that's the first reaction I want you guys doing. Stop trying to fight close guard from on your knees. What's up, Espionage? How you doing, bro? Big tripod sweep. And so I've said it before, if you guys, you know, are getting swept from that tripod, but like this grip is such a BS grip. Like it's so easy to remove. You literally just reach down. Like if Emre reaches down with his left arm, grabs my wrist and just pulls up, that grip goes away. It's a very open grip. So don't accept that for too long. Otherwise this happens and you feel silly about yourself. That's one of the first grips I'll address, just because I know I can't step back all of a sudden and I'm going to be off balance very quickly if that's the case. Ethan looking to take the back and finish this round strong. Looks like he's slipping off a little bit though. Andrew getting out to the side. Very good. Me and Guy on the right, getting in our round. Pop the hell out of my elbow, doing a hitchhiker escape. Bruh. It's funny, we were just looking, where are we at? 14 left. I'll show this to you just because you made me think of it. Where was that, James? Yeah, we were laughing about this earlier. Just absolute fastest movement from the biggest man in the room to get out of that. Not quite a hitchhiker escape. Similar, I guess, but sorry to hear that. I hope it's not bad, man. Yeah, Mike's foot is or was probably broken. So I decided to limit myself as to what I would attempt here. He would do the same for me, so. Caleb still looking spry, coming off a rest round, fighting a guy half his size. I was always, even from like white belt when I first learned that move, hitchhikers always scared me for that reason. I felt like my elbow was just so vulnerable through that entire move. Mike had a really good position on me here, and for everybody, you know, for anyone still watching who's been listening to me ramble about underhooks today, this is an example of me losing an underhook, but staving off the threat with a very, very deep, heavy whizzer, right? So right here, I've lost the underhook. I'm not getting it back. I can't create space. Like, there's no way I can get space between my chest and Mike's to pummel my arm back in. So I'm stuck here. So I go, all right, I'm going to put the whizzer in here. So I got my overhook really deep, putting a lot of pressure onto it. You see me trying to foot wedge in because I know I have to get my knee free if I'm going to be able to like get out of this, or at least not lose position. I'm putting a lot of downward pressure on Mike right now. He's got, this position is so much in his favor, in my opinion. But all that heavy whizzer pressure allows me to eventually pop up. Once our legs are semi-entangled from him switching to that like knee down position, that dogfight position. I said to him right here, I was like, the whizzer is what saved me there. That was the only way I got out of that from losing that underhook battle. So that doesn't mean I want you guys that I've been talking to avoid or think like, oh, well, if I lose the underhook, I'll just get out with the whizzer. No. Prioritize your underhook for now. Mess with the whizzer later. You need to build some good habits first. My fault. I let one of my blue belts set up the armbar. Yeah. Man, you let a blue belt put you, a black belt, in a late stage armbar. That is asking for trouble. I'm sure he felt bad. Mike really throwing the omoplata on me now. Mike always works from this position. My only goal there was to get around the leg, get my knee into the hip, try to get chest to chest. Try to prevent him from getting me off balance like we just saw James do really well with that lockdown and deep half position. Mike's not in a lockdown, but he is working to a deep half. And I almost get him in a Sulov stretch here, which I was so excited about that. And then we come out into a Z-lock, and I was so disappointed in myself that I didn't break his stupid leg. Oh, well, that's really, really good of you. Not hamming it up and making him feel terrible about it, which I like to do sometimes. Was it like, do you feel like it was just kind of like a dislocation or like, a little gas letting out of the joint? Or was it like, uh-oh, something maybe tore, low-level sprain or something? So from this, like, I mean, Mike's head, his forehead was on his knee here. I've got the stretch in, but he pops his head out. And then now as he comes around and turns his leg, we're into this inside ashi position. And I in retrospect, thinking about this, which I did all night when I didn't sleep and just thought about how I missed this great opportunity. I should have gotten more of a bend in Mike's leg by taking his heel in this direction. I don't know. Everything about it looks good there, but he's just so damn effective at hiding that heel. And it's got to be something I'm doing wrong. But now we switch to an Arimi. Pretty much at an outside. I just give up from here. My morale is broken. Mike gets the grip over the back, starts taking my back. I'm just a broken man. Hey man, Espionage don't give a shit, dude. He'll get out. Granted, that is something I probably should work on more, is my late stage escapes. I'm just too scared to be put into them. I find it easier if you're on the other hip. So I didn't have much of a say in the matter in that. I'm not disagreeing with you, James. I just like just how we ended up here. It's kind of like maybe I should have tried to roll through, like roll this way. But then here's the thing, I think if I try to turn us in this direction to get to that other hip, I am hiding his heel underneath me. And I think I would be encouraging his leg straightening out. That's just my initial impression of this. I could be wrong. Actually, since I know you've worked on the Z-Lock a lot, you and I should sit down and you could show me your ways. Learn me up. Well, crushed and popped out 4 times. Light tear. Hurts a lot. Yeah, there you go. Well, I hope it's nothing too bad, man. Crush. Gordon versus the Australian guy. Or Nicky Rod. Won't be able to hide his heel. So you say that. But Mike is a bastard and always hides his heel on me. But that is, I mean, a well executed Z-Lock. Hiding the heel should be impossible, or as close to impossible as you can be. So I know I'm doing something wrong with that. Andrew coming out strong, but giving me the underhook. And there's the Haragosh. So I did this one with the underhook instead of the overhook, but it works all the same. So the big thing about this, and this is what I talked about with some of you guys after class, man, if I had that wrist under control, that would have been gorgeous. What clicked for me this evening with this, and it looked like what clicked for Caleb as well with his monster Haragoshi on Devin earlier, is not relying on the leg position. So where's a good frame? My left leg stepping around. Like, I'm not trying, there's my heel kind of popping out there. I'm not trying to sweep Andrew's legs out from underneath him. I'm just blocking them at the knee. There is some backwards pressure here, but all the pressure is coming from here, right? So I'm really effectively using either a whizzer, if I have a whizzer, or in this case, the underhook, to get Andrew moving forward. I'm trying to pull him forward with my upper body connection as opposed to taking his legs out with a lower body connection. And that was what I think I messed up for years until literally like this night, this past Monday with the Haragoshi. So if you guys are finding yourself here, like it works so well with Uchimata to Haragoshi, right? Or, you know, if you mess up the Haragoshi to front headlock, like I think that's kind of what I did. That's what I did against Danny earlier, I want to say. But there I got Andrew on his back, so I didn't have to go to the front headlock, but I chased down the back anyway. Or in the follow-up. But whatever, yeah. That upper body connection is where that really sends it home. Did you see the new kid? Yeah. We went over it earlier if you weren't on the stream. It happened over here. And then on to the rear naked strangle. And Caleb is just... I don't think I've seen him use a rear triangle position against somebody this many times. But it's working for him. I mean, it's been 10 years of being on a mission, man. I just want to beat all of you up. That's my mission. No, it's cool. Like, there's just always something to focus on. There's always something you could play around with and get better at. Like, the arm drags lately have been huge for me. The Haragoshi thing just kind of clicked the other night. That was I'm looking for it here, but Andrew's like, hell no, dude, get off of me. Starts ragdolling me. Yeah, that was kind of lucky for me there. A lot of head position right there, peeking out the back. And getting the takedown. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just if I get bored, like if I don't know, I'm just always still curious about how to do this stuff better. So it's hard to get bored. Especially when you guys all like screw up all my stuff that usually works. I mean, it's like I can't you know, I used to tap Danny, you know, regularly. Now I don't think I've tapped out Danny in forever, right? Cuz he's just like figured out my stuff and built his own game and is like on a tear, doing well, but he makes my stand up a lot better cuz he's a counter wrestler. So it's just keeps it fun. It just keeps it fun. As long as you guys are training, I'm getting better. So keep training for me. It's all selfish. I appreciate you noticing, man. Honestly, wrestling, I think in the last couple of years has gotten me most excited. Like that's I of course I love all the stuff that comes after pinning a person, like triangling Andrew. But I don't know. The stand up game is just really challenging, really tiring, and like really beautiful when it works. Like how many times have you guys just watched a 5-point suplex in freestyle wrestling on repeat if it comes up on your reels or something, you know? Or like a really, really great judo throw. It's just like you have to watch. Sweep single here against Andrew. He starts chasing me down, and then I go to a cutback single. When that happened, I was like, "Ooh, it's gonna look really pretty." So here we go, single, chases me down, but I pull that leg through. I'm able to get in past the legs, at least briefly. Gets that knee in with the quickness. Dude, I'm happy to hear you say that too, Espionage. Like it's especially I didn't wrestle. Like I wasn't a wrestler in high school. So I'm coming in very late to the game. My body's, you know, already half broken from jiu-jitsu. So I'm never going to be a killer on the feet, but I just absolutely love the whole art. I can't remember if I'm in on a guillotine here or not. I think I was. I think I got the tap here. So is he knee explode. Yes, he comes up here. Get him off balance, and then we go into this head and arm guillotine, which I didn't have a whole lot of faith in, but I think it was my angle. I got to a good enough angle that I could tuck the chin underneath as I was attacking that, and that laid on enough pressure. Caleb finishing out this round with this Kimura. I feel like Caleb is just having a great time training with Emre. So he gets the Kimura here. He has it exposed. Like he could roll Emre here. He has the arm behind the back, so he could absolutely just finish the Kimura. But watch him tuck it in just to go for the Kimura trap into the armbar. Yeah, dude. I am. Let's see. I'm 15 years. No, I graduated in 2010. What year is it? Yeah. No, I graduated in 06 from high school. I'm all messed up. So I'm almost 20 years out from high school. What was this takedown? Yeah, just a little step through. Kind of a... what is that, like a ukigoshi or something? Something. We're not old. You're only as old as you feel. Tuesday mornings, I feel very old. But other days, I feel younger. Great leg entrance from Ethan there. He settles into a straight ankle, but then switches to a heel hook. But since he wants to compete in May 10th, so coming up less than a month, Naga Hickory, we stop him and make him go back to the straight ankle because we don't want him DQing himself. And he actually put on some pretty legitimate pressure. Like I was very happy. You had Michael looking at him right there, who is, he's got his own absolutely terrifying straight ankle lock. Joe, for the love of God, stay off TRT, please. It's funny. Shane Gillis was just talking on a recent episode of his podcast about how every guy who ever gets their TRT or gets their levels checked, they're low. He's like, I've never met a single person who comes back from getting their levels checked who's low or who's high or regular. So this was I was a little scared here. Going for kind of just a sit through, like control with the head and the arm. I land full onto Ethan's right side upper rib cage and felt his ribs compress. He said all that happened was he got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. But he's like, oh, I could go. We've had a couple rib injuries lately, so I was a little spooked. He is, man. He's tougher than I gave him credit for when he first started. But I think that was just because he didn't know what he could and couldn't do. So he was like being a little more gentle with some of the moves. And then now he's just like thrashing me or trying to, which I absolutely love. Levels are too high. As long as you go to legit. Yeah, exactly. I got mine checked and it was on the higher side of the range. And I'm like, oh, sweet. I don't need to do this then. That was all in an effort to get my sleep fixed. So I wasn't really shopping for it. I had my actual like primary doctor just check it. No, which I sound like I'm being a snob right now. No shade to anybody who does TRT. I don't care. I think it's a personal choice. It scares me messing with my own hormones, so I don't touch it. Yeah, Joe. Get lifted, bruh. Getting lifted right there. A little sweep. Getting Ethan off of me. Coming in last 20 seconds. Feels like he steps up the intensity here. Chasing down the back with that collar tie. I want to really make sure, and I want all you guys who train with Ethan to not let him, I've yelled at every single one of you at one point or another in your training to not just flop over, right? Granted, I'm elevating Ethan's hips. I have his left arm under control. So we'll call this a legit sweep. But if you feel like him or if you feel like he or anyone else who wants to compete is going to their butt too easily, I want you to call them out. I want you to yell at them loudly so that I hear them, so that I could come over and yell at them too. That's not something you want to be doing in competition. Giving up an easy 2 points on a sweep just because you think, well, we're ground fighting, so maybe I'll just fight for my back. No, keep the top position. If you're put on your back, that's one thing. If you concede it, that's unacceptable. and I'll get off my soapbox. Great stuff. Great Monday. Then the employment. If you want to juice, do it at your own risk. Start doing it for recovery. Yeah, and like whatever, you know, that's fine. It's yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I just I hate seeing younger and younger guys doing it. That kind of bums me out a little bit. It's like, bro, you're 22 years old. You don't need to be on TRT. But us old broken men who are 20, 25 years out from high school, yeah, why not? Sure. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the entertaining chat as always. Love it when you guys are active, asking questions, talking shit, having fun. That's all I care about. So thank you guys. It makes doing the stream a lot more fun. May 10th, I already said it. Naga. Let's make sure we're getting our people ready and keeping them healthy. We don't need to be smashing them. We need to be giving them high quality training. What else? We're carrying on this week with Open Guard. So this is the first week of it. You got Thursday to go over it, and then we are closed Saturday and Sunday. So don't even think about coming to the school. Closed for the Easter weekend, and we'll be back to regular operation next Monday. So get your Thursday class in if you guys want to train before the weekend. I think that's about it. Subscribe, follow, subscribe at YouTube, all that good stuff. Thank you for the resubs earlier. Appreciate it, you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful Easter weekend. And yeah, we'll see you back on the stream. So go trim your nails, do your laundry. Don't be stinky. We'll see you next Wednesday. Take it easy, guys.